Tonight on News Hour. Despite billions spent, Abuja-Kaduna Highway remains a traveler's nightmare. Ajaka urges Supreme Court to pursue prosecution of attackers. Kano reels under torrential rainfall sparking public outcry over flooding. On the foreign front, Sudan Army chief criticizes Geneva talks, vows to continue fighting rapid support forces. Hello and welcome to Trust TV's News Hour. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Now, the Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, NIA, Ahmed Rufai Abubakar, has resigned his appointment. Abubakar tendered his resignation to President Bola Tinubu on Saturday. The reason for his resignation is not yet known. Abubakar was appointed by the DG of NIA on 10th January 2018 by ex-President Muhammadu Buhari. He was a retired career Foreign Service officer who, until his appointment, served as Senior Special Assistant to the President on Foreign Affairs and International Relations. He had extensive experience working with the United Nations in peace support operations, mediation process, preventive diplomacy and good officers, as well as the promotion of good governance and respect for the rule of law and human rights.
It's a routine things from time to time to brief Mr. President on situations, on issues, and today is no exception. After the briefing, actually, I tendered my resignation, and Mr. President graciously approved and accepted the resignation. I thanked him for giving me the opportunity to serve Nigeria under his transformational leadership for an extended period of 15 months, which is very rare, by the way, to have the opportunity to serve two presidents at a stretch, at a go. So I thanked him very well, and I promise to remain professionally dedicated to our country and to noble causes.
The Police High Command has confirmed the release of 20 medical students who were abducted on their way to Benue State. It's also said no dime was paid as ransom before the victims were rescued, contrary to reports that an amount of money was paid to the abductors. The spokesman of the Nigerian Police Force, ASP Onumuyiwa Dejobi, stated this while reacting to journalist inquiry on Saturday. Reacting to their release, Adejobi said they were rescued tactically and professionally and commended security agencies, locals, and the Office of the National Security Advisor for their commitment and resilience. The Nigerian Medical Association has called on security agencies to rejig their intelligence efforts against insecurity to better protect lives and properties across the country. The president of the Nigerian Medical Association said this at a meeting themed the role of government and health institutions in curbing health tourism, which took place in Maiduguri. It also called the FG to promote the production of drugs and vaccines, improve the welfare of medical doctors and health workers to avert the Japa syndrome, while also investing in the sector to curb medical tourism. The president of Nigerian Medical Association, Bala Audu, commended the security agencies for rescuing 20 medical students who were abducted last week.
NEC wholeheartedly appreciates the tireless efforts of all security agencies in addressing the country's security challenges. We express our deep sympathies for the families affected by these issues. I encourage the adoption of intelligence-driven strategies to enhance security. NEC pledges continued collaboration in identifying and mitigating risks within the sector. NEC calls on the government to actively promote the production of drugs and vaccines. We support the creation of free trade zones for indigenous companies working closely with the National Institute of Pharmaceutical Research and the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria.
Now, operatives of the Sokoto State Police Command have arrested some suspects in connection with the protest held in Sabon Birni over the death of the abducted district head Issa Muhammad Bawa. The Deputy Public Relations Officer of the command, ASP Issa Mohammed, made this known in a statement in Sokoto. He said some miscreants had set ablaze private and public utilities, including the 25 housing units constructed by the state government to serve as accommodation for officials posted to serve in the area. The statement said the command would thoroughly investigate the matter to unravel the individual groups behind the protest in the area. According to the statement, a detachment of mobile police personnel have been sent to the area to maintain the peace, while calling on law-abiding citizens in the area to go about their normal business as police personnel are there to protect them. The command, however, cautioned the public against taking laws into their own hands, especially on matters that require judicial processes. On security matters, troops of the 6th Brigade and Sector 3 Operation Wellstroke, in collaboration with other security agencies, have arrested multiple criminals and terrorists, including a Tiv militia kingpin, Mela Salim, believed to have masterminded the killing of a traditional ruler of Chanchangi and his son at Jankindo village in Takum local government area of Taraba State. The Acting Assistant Director, 6th Brigade Army Public Relations, Captain Olubodunde Oni, will disclose this in a statement on Friday, said the operations carried out across various local government areas of the state. Oni said on August 18, 2024, troops acting on credible intelligence raided a criminal hideout in Takum local government area, leading to the arrest of a suspected kidnapper named David Musa. He notes that preliminary investigations revealed that Musa is associated with a notorious kidnap kingpin, Ephraim, also known as Skin the Body. The suspect, Uninos, is currently undergoing further investigation to uncover more details about the criminal network. He added that in another operation on August 20, 2024, troops arrested suspected gun runners James Nuhu and Dana Sabe Ango in Wukari local government area. During interrogation, the suspects confessed to participating in various criminal activities within Wukari and surrounding areas. The Niger state government has appealed to the Nigerian army to redeploy its troops to communities prone to terrorist attacks in the state. The acting governor of the state, Yakubu Garba, made the appeal in an interview with newsmen after the 3-day Fidel prayer for 13 people killed by bandits in Shiroro. Recall that the victims lost their lives on Wednesday when they were ambushed by bandits on their way to their farms in Angwan village. Garba said the withdrawal of troops from Alawa and other communities had weakened the government's efforts to eradicate insecurity in the state. He said the Bagu-led administration had deployed strategies to end insecurity, which had brought safety to commuters along Kuta, Guada, Zumba and Erena roads in Shiroro Council. According to him, those killed in the attack were displaced farmers that left the internally displaced persons camp. Civil security over in Nasarawa State operatives of the State Command on Friday arrested one female, Hawa Sani, for concealing 124 rounds of anti-craft ammunition in a gallon of palm oil alongside a 2-year-old child in the state. The command's public relations officer, Ramhan Nansel, revealed this in a statement on X.com on Saturday. According to the statement, the state police operatives arrested the suspect at a cash sum of 78,500 naira and a mobile phone while trying to smuggle the ammunition to Katsina State, where the suspect is reportedly from. Nansel said the Commissioner of Police, Shehu Nadada, has ordered the transfer of the suspects and exhibit to the Force Intelligence Department Force Headquarters in Abuja for further investigation. Move to political matters, where the Social Democratic Party governorship candidate Murtala Jaka in the governorship election of November 11, 2023 in Kogi State has called on the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Betokun, and other relevant security agencies to investigate the attack on him and his supporters by some thugs. Ajaka and his supporters were attacked at the Supreme Court in Abuja on Friday after the 5-member panel of justices of the Apex Court in a judgment dismissed his appeal challenging the election victory of Usman Ododo of the All Progressives Congress for lack of merit. Ajaka, in a statement on Saturday, condemned the attack on his person in the strongest terms, terming it an assault on democracy itself. Speaking on the judgment of the Supreme Court, which affirmed Ododo as the winner of the governorship poll in the state, Ajaka said although he respects the decision of the Supreme Court and its role in upholding the rule of law, he, however, rejects the outcome of the judgment. He urged his supporters to stay strong and prepare for 2027, when they will have to regroup and come back stronger. On Kogi politics, the Kogi state government has affirmed that Governor Usman Ododo remains a member of the All Progressives Congress, stressing that he is not considering defecting to the opposition People's Democratic Party. The affirmation is in response to a report by an online news platform which went viral early on Saturday, claiming that Ododo was considering defecting to the PDP. A statement by the State Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Farmer, on Saturday described the report as a reckless and unprofessional media report. The statement stated that the report was a product of mischief makers and promoters of falsehood who were still leaking their wounds after their loss at the Supreme Court on Friday. The government assured the people of Kogi State that Ododo remains a solid member of the ruling APC and will continue to support all party activities in the state and nationally. The 2023 Kogi State governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Dino Melaye, has claimed the opposition party has been commercialized and privatized. In a post via his X handle on Saturday, the former Kogi West senator asserted that the PDP has lost its relevance in the country's political space. Melaye accused the acting PDP national chairman, Iliad Damagum, the national secretary, Samuel Anyanwu, and the national organizing secretary, Umaru Baturi, of destroying the party. Speaking on Saturday, the PDP spokesman Debo Ologoagba denied the claim that the party has been commercialized, saying every party has issues and internal wrangling. Ologoagba said Melaye's claim that the party is losing its relevance is incorrect, saying that the party has 13 governors and members in the National Assembly. PDP lawmakers in the House of Representatives had raised serious allegations against Damagum and Anyanwu. The lawmaker under the aegis of the opposition coalition accused the party leaders of a covert plot to sabotage the party by aiding defected former members of the Rivers State House of Assembly with legal backing to attempt to impeach the Rivers State Governor Simi Fubara out of office. We move to health matters, where the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention on Friday announced that the country has recorded a total of 40 confirmed cases of Mpox out of 830 suspected cases. NCDC Director General Jide Idris disclosed this at the joint NCDC World Health Organization National Mpox briefing with stakeholders and partners in Abuja. The WHO Nigeria Country Office disclosed that Nigeria would be receiving doses of the Mpox vaccine through a donation from the United States government. Idris noted that an emergency operations center and an incident management system has been established since Mpox was declared a public health emergency of international concern. The NCDC boss also noted that the agency needs to enhance laboratory services as all confirmed cases so far were validated using genomic sequencing at the National Research Lab in Abuja and Lagos. He said due to the spread, there's a need to increase the number of laboratories for testing, including Lagos University Teaching Hospital and the Africa Center for Genomics.
Looking at the number of cases we have in the country, about 40, quite a number of them are in about 12 or 13 states. A number of them really in the south, southeast, some in Lagos, some in Ogun, and up north there, the central. And the distribution again. And our plans now are to target those states so that you can reduce the number of, you can actually carry out active surveillance to detect more cases. In detecting cases, again, we have case definitions. And of course, in those areas, again, you need to detect. How to detect? We have to beef up our laboratory services in those things. All the cases we've seen so far were confirmed using genomic sequencing in 2 labs, NRL, National Research Lab in Abuja here and in Lagos. But because of the spread, what is happening, we need to increase the number of laboratories we're going to use again to test.
Nigeria is not high risk, it's moderate risk. but we need to continue to remain vigilant because with cases reported as far as Europe or Asia, and Nigeria is not it's not safe until this overall event is safe. So we'll continue to work with the government to strengthen public health measures.
Still staying with the Mpox situation, the National Agency for the Control of AIDS has urged the public to take preventive measures against the rising threat of Mpox, in line with its commitment to the health and safety of Nigerians, particularly those living with HIV. The Director General of NACA, Dr. Temi Tokwe Ilori, said this in a statement on Saturday, signed by the agency's Head of Public Relations and Protocol, Toyin Aderibigbe. Ilori emphasized the heightened risk faced by people living with HIV, stating that while anyone can contract Mpox, individuals with compromised immune systems, such as those living with HIV, may experience more severe symptoms. She said these individuals must take extra precautions to protect themselves. She further noted that NACA is actively monitoring the situation and working closely with public health authorities to ensure that adequate resources and information are available. Dr. Ilori advised the public to remain vigilant and informed, underscoring the importance of early detection and treatment. This is the news hour on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, heavy downpour in Kano devastates metropolitan areas as public concerns grow. More stories when we return. Please do stay with us. Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Now a recap of our top stories. Despite billions spent, Abuja-Kaduna Highway remains a traveler's nightmare. We also informed you that Ajeka urges Supreme Court to pursue prosecution of attackers. Two more stories. 3 children have been confirmed dead following a suspected outbreak of diphtheria in Kaduna State. The suspected outbreak occurred in Tukru community of Zaria local government area. Confirming the incident, the health secretary of the local government, Abdullahi Sule, said one of the children died at home while the 2 others who were rushed to the ABU teaching hospital, Shika, passed on at the hospital. However, said adequate measures have been put in place to curtail the spread of the disease in the community. Another in the community, Abdulaziz Suleiman, in a statement, said 5 people reportedly died of the disease in the area. Suleiman said the disturbing phenomena has sent shockwaves throughout the community and called for quick intervention. Over in Adamawa State, Governor Amaradu Umarofintiri has commenced payment of the new 70,000 naira minimum wage approved by the federal government, sparking widespread celebration among civil servants in the state. As promised, the governor initiated the payment of the new minimum wage for state workers starting August 2024, while local government workers will begin receiving the increased salary in September of 2024. Multiple sources, including state workers who received their salaries with the new minimum wage, confirmed the development to Daily Trust. Observers say some sections of state workers who received the payment expressed their appreciation for the governor's fulfillment of his promise, describing him as a man of his word. They commended Governor Fintiri for bringing joy to their families and pledged to continue supporting his administration to deliver more democratic dividends to the electorate. Southern Adamawa State, no fewer than 8 communities in Madagali local government area of the state have been devastated following flash flood disasters caused by heavy downpours. An assessment by NEMA and ATSEMA revealed that 10,264 people had been affected, with many seeking refuge to temporary camps provided by the local government, while others moved to safer places. While an on-the-spot assessment of the devastation so far, Governor Amadou Fintiri, through his deputy, Kaleptwa Farota, enjoined those living around water-prone areas to relocate to safer or higher ground as precautionary measures against the dangers associated with flooding. As part of efforts to mitigate the plight of victims, the government flagged off the distribution of relief materials made up of food and non-food items to all affected communities.
We have seen that a lot of them have lost their shelter. As a government, we didn't come just empty-handed. We came with aid and palliatives, especially food and non-food items, as we have seen in the store and as we have seen outside here, just to ensure that our people are safe for now. Destruction is colossal, and we will not expect that the state alone can carry this load of a lot of destruction that the flood has brought to our people. We have brought water treatment chemicals. Ensure our water is treated before you drink.
Over in Taraba State, travelers from Jalingo to Wokari, as well as those heading to southern states in Nigeria, are now being compelled to seek alternative routes due to the collapse of a key bridge in the state. The bridge, which connects Jalingo, the state capital, to Wokari and nearby Benue State, was severely damaged following heavy rainfall which occurred on Thursday night. The rain, which began around 11 p.m. and lasted until 5 a.m. Friday, caused significant flooding. The damaged bridge, as of the time of filing this report, has left the road impassable, causing major disruptions for travelers. An eyewitness said travelers were now forced to take a much longer route through Garabachede in Bali Local Government Council before accessing Jalingo, the administrative headquarters of the state. In Kano, residents of Koframata Metropolis are living in fear after heavy rains wreaked havoc in the neighborhood. In the aftermath of the rains, 13 houses collapsed, claiming one life and leaving several others injured. Abba Adamu visited the area and filed this report as presented from our studio.
Residents of Koframata have been plunged into mourning after heavy rains caused significant damage, resulting in the collapse of 13 mold-built houses. The tragic incident led to the death of a woman known locally as Maman Abba. According to local accounts, the tragedy occurred on Saturday when one of the collapsed buildings fell on the woman and her child while they were asleep. Hajia Baba Larry, the sister of the deceased, recounted the heartbreaking incident, highlighting the devastation caused by the heavy rains. On Friday, it rained heavily and there was a loud thunderstorm. Since then, I could not sleep. I got up and was praying in the name of Allah. After the thunderstorm, not up to 15 minutes later, the room collapsed on her and her child while they were sleeping. Aisha Yahya Gidan Shayi, who narrowly escaped with her children from one disaster, faced another tragic event when the building they were in collapsed on them. We were fast asleep after dawn when suddenly we had a loud crash. I woke up to find myself trapped under the rubble. I saw some children wailing and told them to stop crying and recite the Islamic phrase, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. A total of 13 houses, including those belonging to Balaraba Yahaya, Aisha Yunusa, Zainab Muhammad, Usman Bello and several others in the Koframata area were affected by the incident. Muhammad Jibrin, a community leader in the Koframata, reported that authorities have yet to take any action or response to the disaster. Up until now, the government has not done anything about it. But within our community, even before the building collapsed, the youth had come together to clear and sanitize the environment and remove all the garbage in our water channels. He's urged to the government to provide assistance to the community in the wake of the disaster, while appealing to local authorities to come to their aid.
So, on weather-related matters, over in Jigawa State, the federal government has assured the government and people of the state of its support to enable them weather the storms of the devastating floods that wreaked havoc in the state. The Minister of Defense, Muhammad Baduru Abubakar, gave the assurance in the aftermath of the flood, which has affected 148 communities across the state, 14 local government areas, and resulted in a significant loss of lives and property. Here's the report.
The flood has claimed 33 lives, while 7,500 houses have collapsed under the pressure of the rising waters. The disaster has also submerged 11,500 farmlands, dealing a severe blow on the agricultural sector in the region. During the visit, Minister Badr Abubakar expressed the federal government's deep commiserations with the victims and the entire state. He assured residents that comprehensive measures are being put in place to address the immediate needs of the victims, including emergency relief and rehabilitation programs. The minister also highlighted the importance of long-term strategies to prevent future occurrences, signaling the federal government's commitment to mitigating the impact of such disasters.
I want to use this opportunity also to thank the governor for his quick intervention. As the flood unfold, we have seen the rapid response by the government of Jigawa State in alleviating the sufferings of the people that has been afflicted. Your Excellency, we thank you and commend you for that effort. I have no doubt you have your people at heart and you will continue to support and help your people as we have seen you doing.
Your Excellency, you know the history of flood in Jigawa State. But this year's flood is entirely different, it's taking a different dimension from what we all know. I am sure you were surprised when you heard that this thing is starting in July, August. It normally happens toward the end of September to the first week of October when the water is released from our dam, when the dams are overflowed. But what is happening this year, Your Excellency, is entirely different phenomena. It's a rainwater. It's not the river from the water from the river. It's the rainfall.
As the state grapples with the aftermath of the flood, local and federal authorities continue to work together to ensure that affected communities receive the necessary aid and support to rebuild their lives. The incident has sparked calls for more robust infrastructure and disaster management systems to better protect vulnerable areas across the country.
Non-governmental organizations based in Yola, the Adamawa state capital, have called for enhanced improvements in inclusiveness for people living with disabilities in global affairs. These organizations express concern over the persistent lack of equal opportunities for individuals with disabilities to contribute meaningfully to their communities. They emphasize the need for more inclusive policies and practices that ensure people living with disabilities are fully integrated and empowered to serve society. Gibson Sodigo reports from Yola.
This is the Secretariat for People Living with Disabilities in Yola, the capital of Adamawa State, where they regularly come together for skills training and various activities. On this particular day, they gathered at the invitation of local non-governmental organizations to mark World Humanitarian Day, a gesture recognizing the vital role they play in society despite ongoing discrimination. Speaking on behalf of the NGOs, Michael Onimi Saint Eloge stressed the importance of including people with disabilities in humanitarian efforts and amplifying their voices.
Because we have realized that even people with disabilities are still at the forefront of offering humanitarian services to people in need. They don't see themselves as disabled because we believe there is ability in disability. So we have come here today to felicitate with them, to encourage them, and to also let them know we are together with them.
During the event, participants showcased their talents and skills, proving that disabilities do not limit their abilities. They were also honored with awards in recognition of their significant contributions to their organizations and to society as a whole.
What is Braille? Braille is a series of raised dots which can be read by the people who are blind or whose eyesight.
Beatrice Richard and Salamatu Abdullahi expressed deep gratitude to the organizers for including them in the World Humanitarian Day celebration. They urged the government and the people to continue supporting and empowering people with disabilities, emphasizing the need to end segregation and ensure they are valued for their contributions to the society.
In this program, there are some of our colleagues
who have been nominated and have been presented with award of excellence in recognition to their contribution in the nation building, most especially in championing the issue of disability inclusion in Nigeria.
I think the purpose of being celebrating with us is to show an inclusivity in the celebration. So as you can see, there was a saying, leave no one behind. So we are celebrating World Humanitarian Day. We are celebrating our heroes that died in the act of responding for people.
Nigeria's northeast region remains one of the hardest hit by the ongoing humanitarian crisis, where insecurity has had a severe impact, particularly on persons living with disabilities. Gibson Soadugo, Trust TV News, Yola.
This is still the news hour on Trust TV. Still to come, business, foreign and sports. To stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Now let's get to business, where the African Export-Import Bank has revealed that it facilitated $650 million for Owando's acquisition of the 100% stake in the Nigerian Ajib Oil Company Limited. In a statement on Friday, the Continental Bank said it successfully arranged a senior $500 million and a junior $150 million reserve-based lending facility for Owando Petroleum and Natural Gas Company Limited. The facility was used to finance Owando's acquisition of the 20% participating interest held by Nigerian Ajib Oil Company Limited in the NEPL-NAOC Owando joint venture in Nigeria. Owando announced the completion of the acquisition on Thursday, saying it marked a historic milestone. Speaking on the role of the bank in the deal, the Executive Vice President of Global Trade Bank, Afrexim Bank, Haytham Elma Yeji, said the facility marked a critical step in advancing the bank's strategy for promoting local content in Africa's oil and gas sector. Still in business, a total turnover of 5.641 billion shares worth 33.052 billion naira in 42,006 deals was traded this week by investors on the floor of the exchange. The financial services industry, measured by volume, led the activity chart. The oil and gas industry followed in second place, while the services industry came in third place. The NGX All Share Index and market capitalization depreciated by 1.162% and 0.004% to close the week at 95,973.45 basis points at 55.129 trillion naira respectively. 43 equities appreciated in price during the week, with 34 depreciating, while 74 equities remained unchanged. Away from Nigeria, Sudan's de facto ruler and army chief Abdel Fattah al-Burhan has said his government will not join peace talks in Switzerland, saying the military would fight for 100 years if necessary to defeat the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces RSF. Burhan, who leads the governing Transitional Sovereignty Council, told reporters in Port Sudan on Saturday that the talks aim to whitewash the RSF and countries that support the paramilitaries. The United States opened talks in Switzerland on August 14, which concluded on Friday, aimed at easing the human suffering and achieving a lasting ceasefire. Saudi Arabia, Egypt and the United Arab Emirates also acted as mediators in the talks, which aim to secure more aid as Sudanese civilians face famine, mass displacement and disease. While an RSF delegation showed up, the Sudanese Armed Forces SAF led by Burhan were unhappy with the format and did not attend, but were in telephone contact with the mediators. The war in Sudan, which began last year, has led to one of the world's most humanitarian and displacement crises. Niger's capital, Niamey, has been almost completely cut off from the rest of the country by rising floodwater following the heavy rains that have hit the Sahel region since June. The main routes out of the city of about 1.5 million are mostly underwater, and about 11,500 of its inhabitants have been affected by the disaster. Over the past 3 months, the rains have caused 217 deaths across the country and affected more than 350,000 people, according to the military-led authorities that took power in July of 2023. Niamey, the southwest of the country, was initially spared, but now Kanos have replaced buses and delivery vans on the roads. Most transport companies have suspended their routes to the rest of Niger, along with dilapidated dinghies that charge 500 CFA, a little less than $1. Girder Dam and military motorboats are helping to transport stranded residents. Uganda has confirmed 2 more mpox virus infections, bringing the number of cases in the East African country to 4, according to the Health Ministry. The 2 new patients were infected with the Clade 1B strain of the virus. Health Ministry Director General of Health Services Henry Moebesa told Reuters a new offshoot that has triggered global concern. The World Health Organization declared the recent outbreak of the disease a public health emergency after the new variant, which appears to spread more easily between people, was identified. Health authorities in Uganda first reported an outbreak of the disease in the country on July 24, when lab tests of samples from 2 patients at a hospital near the border with the Democratic Republic of Congo returned positive for mpox virus. The latest 2 cases were confirmed this week. Health Ministry spokesperson Emmanuel Elwuna said, adding that one of the patients was a truck driver. He did not give details of the second patient. And it's now time to join Adini Ajishafe for more sports.
The 2024 edition of Lekki Scrabble Classic will bring much buzz, with Scrabble players preparing to win the $1 million prize money as announced by the organizers of the formal Scrabble Championship for 2024. Lekki Scrabble Club has been in the forefront of pushing the spice high and spreading quality in its strategic contributions to Scrabble development, attaining national status with top players across Nigeria, converging in Lagos from 28 to 29 September 2024. Players will be competing over 18 rounds of games in 2 main categories of A and B on 2-day Scrabble Fiesta, with small prizes in place for winners. Category A will feature players with ratings of 1,300 and above, while those who fall into ratings from 0 to 1,299 with Joseph for honors. In Category B, players have gone into preparation for the LSC to seize the opportunity to boost their world power and ball strategies in Scrabble. Lekki Scrabble Classics is the flagship tournament of Lekki Scrabble Club, arguably the most prestigious Scrabble club in Nigeria. 2024 Lekki Scrabble is certified by Nigerian Scrabble Federation and African Scrabble governing body, the Pan-African Scrabble Association, PANASA. James Eruje won the 2022 edition, waving off a final challenge from Olufemi Gbadebo in the last round on table 1, while current African champion Enoch Nwali stamped his authority on the last edition in 2023 to claim the top title. And still in sport, the former chairman of the Nigerian Football Association, Ibrahim Galadima, has expressed his discontent with the federal government's tendency to appoint ministers with no knowledge of sport to head Ministry of Sport Development. Galadima said Nigeria will continue to struggle in international competitions until the government recognizes the importance of sport and appoints the right individuals to lead sport development. The sport administrator questioned why the office of the sport minister is often used to satisfy state quotas or as a form of party patronage without qualified technocrats. Ibrahim Galadima calls for reinstatement of National Sports Commission with the right people to manage it without the Ministry of Sport Development usurping its powers and duties. That's Sport News. I'm Adeni Ajishafe.
Before we go, there is the kicker. Emmanuel Osifo's forefathers would only carve sculptures to celebrate the Benin kings and affluent families. Today, Osifo is passing on his inherited skills to anyone willing to learn the traditional craft of wood carving. Take a look.
Osifo. Name of my store is Mao Carving Depot. I've been in the carving business just since 1987. My family, they are from Carver. They are Carver. The apprentice I had has finished. I've done his freedom. He's now working on his own. Son had traveled out. So presently now, I don't have any as present. If anyone want to learn, I will bring him form. I will give him form to fill. He will fill form all the requirement I want from him. Then we bring it. Then so far he is serious in learning it. If he want to learn, he should be serious. I love the art because I love anything you can create, especially if it's create with wood. I have passion on it. I love it. Machine cannot carve wood for you, but because it's hand and chisel we use I use in learning chisel. Because if you use all these machine tools, the machines can't give you what you want. Can't give you what you want. That is why we are different from the white men, carving. That's why our own is unique. Oh, there are different prices, so you know. Can charge you 10 naira if you say you have 3 naira. If I'm willing to do it, I do it for you. No, I cannot say this is your specific price. I'm using it, doing that for you. Where we got our wood is from sometimes in the sawmill. You go to sawmill, or you go to all those women that is bringing wood from the bush, like all those one that is bringing all those timber work, all those short timber work from bush. The charges the government is collecting from them is much higher. But we, the carvers, we are carving it, but no support, nothing. We know through them, government is still collecting that from that one, or sustaining from us through that level, through that work we carve. When customers buy, when they are traveling, taking it out, they always subcharge them. That is the complaint they always give. Assuming it's government that owns everything. If they subcharge like 50,000, 200,000, any amount, we don't have any say to say no.
And with that, we've come to the end of News Hour tonight on Trust Television. For more of our news, programs and documentaries, do well to follow us on our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. On behalf of the production team, thank you for joining us tonight.